for a few more people in the waiting room to jump in. But my name is John. I'm going to be your host today. We have Ashley in the chat. She's going to be dropping some information in for you there later. Just a quick housekeeping. We do have a lot of information we got to get through today, so please hold your questions till the end. We'll take some questions at the end. You can drop them in the chat, and we'll definitely address them at that time. How many of you are excited to hear about generating some leads for your business? Let me see some fires. Let me see some excitement. Good. All right. So today we have our speaker. His name is Kenneth Dennis. He's the co-owner of KDA, a tax strategy firm with over 40 employees. It's been featured on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing firms in America. He's trained under Russell Brunson, Sam Ovens, and Dan Griosi, has generated over 800,000 plus tax planning leads. He's even created a system that sold $1.2 million in tax plans in under 5 days. Do you guys hear that? He created a system that sold $1.2 million in tax plans in under 5 days. Let me see some fires. Let me see some fires for that. 1.2 million in 5 days. Are you kidding me? The ultimate expert when it comes to tax planning marketing, owner of Tax Pro Go, who has trained well over 400 plus accounting firms transitioned from tax compliance to tax planning. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring up Kenneth Dennis, your host today. Kenny, how you doing?
Well, I am doing well. Welcome everybody to the webinar where we're going to be focusing on how to generate tax planning leads. I am very much so excited about this because this is one of my favorite topics, because if I can help you guys generate more tax planning leads, I can put some more money in your pocket. And who wants some more money in their pockets? Put a 2 in the chat box if you guys want some more money in your pocket, because that's what this is all about. That's what I'm going to be teaching on today. So let me see some 2s in the chat box. Who wants to make some more money? I don't see enough 2s. If I don't see enough 2s, I don't think we're going to get started. You know, there we go, Christina. I see you. You seeing some 2s, John? Sam, somebody has. There's not enough 2s in that chat box just yet. Who wants to make some money? Because that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how do you generate tax planning leads so you have an endless flow of customers who are willing and able to compensate you anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per tax engagement. And that's what our core focus is going to be on today. And I'm going to go into some deep learning, some great case studies for you guys, so you guys can walk away with some really good tools on exactly what you need to do to start generating some leads for your firm, for your business, so you can put some more cash in your pocket and obviously give yourself the best opportunity to do what you need to do. Tone, what is going on, my man? I hope everybody's doing well. So John, let's get this thing started. I want to deliver some value for all of our members and get it rocking and rolling. All right.
My screen go. Hang on.
All right. So we're going to pull this screen down a little bit. We're going to get this thing rolling.
There we go.
Give us 1 second, guys. We're going to get this thing going. All right, so our whole entire focus for today's training is going to be how to generate tax planning leads. What I'm going to focus on for today's training is the theory of tax planning lead generation and how do we need to look at generating leads for tax planning, because it's a lot different than generating leads for bookkeeping services, for tax preparation, for IRS audit representation. All of those other services, it's a completely different theory and way of thinking that you guys are going to need to have to start generating tax planning leads, because these are really one of the highest level of leads, because these are clients that are able and willing to compensate you very, very nicely. And I'm going to kind of go into exactly the way that you have to think about it and give you kind of a paradigm shift on the way that you need to think about generating leads for tax planning. The next thing is we're going to talk about the education business and why that's so important when it comes to generating tax planning leads. We're going to talk about the perfect lead generator for tax planning that we've utilized and a lot of our other clients have utilized to generate an endless stream of tax planning leads, and something that you guys can utilize for your firm. Then the next thing is how do you create assets to actually generate these leads day in and day out and really create an automated system that will allow you to generate these leads all day long. So if that sounds like something that you guys want to learn about, put a 1 in the chat box. This is going to be an interactive training, guys. I don't have none of those boring trainings, right? This is an interactive training where we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to talk to you guys, give you guys some actionable advice and some steps that you guys can take to get you to where you need to go, okay? All right, John, without further ado, let's get straight to it. All right, so the goal of lead gen, and this is something that I want you guys all to write down. The reason we are generating leads, and I don't care if you're generating leads for if you own an HVAC company, if you own a bookkeeping company, a tax preparation company, tax planning company, IRS auto representation company, this is the #1 goal of why we generate leads. Our goal to generate leads is to get bookings on our calendars and to have appointments. That is the #1 goal. And I want to make sure that we all know this prior to me going through and really dicing into this training so we know where our end goal is. Our #1 goal is to ensure that we are generating appointments on our calendar, because the more conversations we have, the more money we make. It's a simple equation. That's what I teach in a lot of our programs and a lot of our coaching is the more appointments that you have on your calendar, the more that turns into the more dollars that you have. And leads are what fills up that pipeline and allows us to consistently sell. A lot of us right now, the way that we get appointments or the way that we get business is a lot of referrals. Put a 2 in the chat box if a lot of the business that you get is referral based. Let me see, let me kind of get a feel for where we're at right now. If a lot of the business that you currently get is referral, see, I'm seeing a 2, Christina, a 2. A lot of referral-based business is kind of how you've grown your practice. Connect 2, right? Most of us have gotten our business through referrals, right? And it tends to create a lumpy type of business where it doesn't create a consistent stream of cash flow and revenue that allows you to create predictable revenue in your business. And that's why you guys have been struggling to scale. And that's what we're going to dig into. But before we dive in, I want to make sure you guys have a clear understanding of the services that you guys are offering, which this call is specifically for tax planning, not tax prep, not bookkeeping, not this, not that, tax planning. The second thing is you must make sure you define a niche. And this is very, very important. If you guys have seen my videos, my YouTube channel, or if you guys are on the email list, or if you guys are in one of our programs, whatever the case may be, I always talk about why having a niche is so important. And I can go into a deeper training on that later. But if you guys don't know how to pick a niche, just go to our YouTube channel at Tax Pro Grow on YouTube. And I literally break that process down. And if you do not understand your service offering, who your niche is, the pain, the wants, the needs, the desires, it's a bit harder to start generating leads, right? You have to know what these clients are going through, what their issues are, what are their concerns for you to generate leads. That's just the way it is. And that's the whole entire basis. So I want us to start off with this right here as a core pillar before I get into any strategies or anything else. The #1 goal is to generate bookings on our calendar. Give me a 2 in the chat box if you wrote that down. Give me a 2 in the chat box. Again, guys, this is an interactive training. I want to make sure we're all taking this knowledge down so you guys can leave this training with something tangible where you're not just sitting and listening, right? Okay, so I'm seeing some 2s come through the chat box, 2, America 2. Beautiful. Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head to the next slide, and now I'm going to kind of start going through some strategies. So before I go through strategies, I need to kind of break down where the market is right now and what we're looking at. Most taxpayers, 95% of them have no clue what tax planning is. 95% of them. Most taxpayers just understand tax compliance. And what is tax compliance? The fact that they need to file a tax return for the state, for the federal. They need to stay in compliance, yada, yada, yada. That is what 90% of taxpayers know. They have no clue that it's even possible to tax plan. Most taxpayers in America believe You guys have probably seen this in the media, right? Most taxpayers believe that people who save money on taxes are A, they're cheating, or A, that's only reserved for the top 1%, like the Donald Trumps, the this, the that. If you remember back in the election when Donald Trump was running, there was a big thing about, oh, well, you know, he's been cheating the tax code. He's been doing this. He's been doing that, blah, 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 blah. Donald Trump wasn't cheating the tax code. He just had the right strategists on his team, and he leveraged the tax laws to help him save money on taxes. But most taxpayers have no clue that tax planning exists at all, right? And that's going to lead us into my education piece. So now when we're generating leads, we have to know where the market is, okay? They have no clue this type of stuff exists. So to the next one, John. So when you're selling tax preparation, everybody understands they need to file returns. That's why it's such a low barrier of entry to get into that business. You could go get a CTEC license. Some of us don't even have a license, but we know how to file a return, right? You don't necessarily need to sell anybody because it's the simple fact of the matter that people have to do it, right? What are the two things that are guaranteed in life? Let me know in the chat box. What are the two things that are guaranteed in life? Yep, good night, nose. Yep, exactly, right? Will never change, right? Those are the two things that are guaranteed in life forever. So when it comes to tax preparation, that's very easy to sell. That's why a lot of family members do it. You probably get a lot of clients during tax season. You get a lot of referrals. We're like, hey, I have a girlfriend. She needs to get her taxes done. I know a person. You don't have to sell too many people to do tax preparation, right? So I believe in life after death. Absolutely, Josie, I do too. There's not a lot of selling that you have to do, right? And price and when it comes to selling tax preparation, there's two things for you to really drive that business. It's based around pricing when people are making decisions, and it's based around who's the most well-known. So for instance, to really have a massive tax preparation business, you have to have a very large marketing budget, like a TurboTax, who is able to run ads all day long from January to April and be in front of your face and have extremely competitive pricing. Why do you have to have extremely competitive pricing when you're in tax preparation? The simple fact is because it's a commodity-based service. And I want to break down what is a commodity. A commodity is something that is readily available. That means you can go anywhere and get it. So for instance, if you go to the grocery store, every grocery store has apples, right? Damn near every grocery store has apples. So when you're going to the grocery store, most people make decisions when they're buying apples based on the price. Because I can get apples anywhere, I might as well get the cheapest apples. So when it comes to tax preparation, the reason why it's so hard to scale that business and get paid is because it's a commodity. Everybody is able, if they do a little bit of studying, the barrier of entry is very low, where people can get their taxes done by a professional. You have TurboTax that has a package where you can get your taxes done for free. The IRS is coming out with something where you can get your taxes done for free. How do you expect to compete in a marketplace where the competition is selling it for free? I don't know too many ways where you can compete in a marketplace like that, especially where technology is starting to grow even more and where you have a new generation that is more willing to do business online and not need to speak with anybody. That's why pricing is low in that marketplace and profit is low. So to be extremely good at tax preparation, like Alan said, AI is doing all this for free now, right? You have AI that's now coming into the game. So selling tax preparation, for you to really be extremely good at this, you can do it. It's perfectly fine. We do tax prep ourselves. It's not the main selling point in our business though. You could do tax preparation, but you better be damn good at basically having a large marketing budget where you're the most well-known tax preparer in your local city and you have competitive pricing and you're driving extreme amounts of volume, right? That's how you compete. That is the marketplace. So that's why it's so hard for you to basically build a tax business in this day and age, and it's only going to get harder. And that's why a lot of you guys, we got 78 people on this call, you guys are probably feeling that, right? A lot of you guys said, most of my business comes through referral. You haven't built a system that consistently, day in and day out, can generate you leads at a drop of a dime, and you have consistent, predictable revenue. So not only are we teaching you how to generate leads, we're teaching you a new business model that's going to help you sustain your business, okay? If that makes sense, put a 3 in the chat box. Is everything, if that's making sense, give me a 3 in the chat box, if that's making sense so far. Cool. All right, so that's currently where we're at in the marketplace, okay? That's just what it is. All right, so next slide, John. Now, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at tax planning and how it's different. Before we even get to generating leads, we need to know the landscape of what we're doing. With tax planning, we are helping our clients leverage the tax laws to help them keep the most money in their pocket possible. I'm going to repeat that, and I want you guys to write this down. We are helping our clients leverage the tax laws to keep the most money in their pocket possible. Okay? The thing with tax planning is most clients have no clue what tax planning is. When clients come to you, they think what their tax liability is what their tax liability is. They don't think that they can lower it, or they might ask you, do you think there's something I could do? They don't know the difference between a tax strategist and a tax preparer. That's why you must educate the customer on what is possible. I want you to write that down, because this is the most massive. If you don't walk away with anything in this webinar, walk away with this paradigm shift, because it'll change the way you start to think about things. You must educate underscore the client on what is possible. When it comes to tax planning, like I said, with tax preparation, it's a commodity-based service. With tax planning, you move from a commodity, which is what? Something that's readily available, everybody has it, and clients make decisions based on price. With tax planning, clients, your pricing is based on value-based pricing. What is value-based pricing? Value-based pricing is your price is connected to the value that you bring to the client. You want to know what the biggest value-based industry is in all of America? It's the healthcare industry. Why does a brain surgeon get paid so much? Let me know in the chat box. Why does a brain surgeon get paid so much? Let me know. They get paid over 200-something thousand, 300, 400-something thousand a year. Why does a brain, there we go. See, my man Alan knows. 1.5 million. There's some, exactly, Chanel. Specialization. There we go. Why do they get paid so much? Okay. The reason that they get paid so much is, first of all, they specialize in something, and the value that they're bringing to you is extremely high. What are the two things that are guaranteed in life again? Death and taxes. If a brain surgeon is able to help you not die, you're going to pay that man whatever the hell he wants. Whatever he wants. You're going to write a check and it's going to have a lot of zeros at the end of it, right? Josie said, that's facts. Okay, that's just the way it works. Death and taxes, right? So when you're thinking about tax planning, your value is based around how much you can save your clients. So if you're able to save your clients and you're able to have an estimated tax savings when you're in the discovery phase with your clients of, hey, so-and-so, I could probably help you save based on your tax returns and my calculations. I could help you save $100,000 in taxes this upcoming year. I'm going to charge you 10% of that. That means you're going to pay me $10,000. We have a member right now, Alan, who's on this call, who just got paid $9,000 for a tax plan by following this exact same model that we're talking about right now. Oh, my bad, Alan, 10,000. Sorry, my bad, man. Alan got paid $10,000 literally just the other day by following this exact same model. And that's the difference. So clients are willing to work with somebody who has educated them on the process and they trust. That's why when you're tax planning, it's called an advisory service, because you're not just being hired to process a return. You're advising your clients and becoming their trusted confidant when it comes to helping them save on taxes and helping them grow their wealth. And that's why your engagement agreements now are worth anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000. And that's on the low end. We have some clients that are closing deals at $30,000 because they're helping their clients save over 300 grand. If you're able to close 3 clients at $10,000, would that be worth it to you? Give me a yes in the chat box if that would be worth it to you. Just 3 clients a month at $10,000. Would that be worth it to you? I really want to know. I mean, would that be worth it to you guys? I should see this whole chat box light up right now. An extra $30,000? You could do a lot with that, right? Right? He said, my husband could retire, Ashley said, right? So that's what we're learning, right? So now the paradigm shift happens. How do we generate leads of people that are willing to pay those fees, just like Alan just got paid last week, 10 grand? How does that happen? Right? So let's roll to that next slide. Yes, the monies. Yes, that's good monies. Very good money. So this is something that I always hear. And a lot of tax professionals, they talk about, yeah, I need to do marketing. I need to do marketing. I need to do marketing. Like, you know, I have to do marketing. You know, I'm going to eventually do my marketing. You know, I'm trying to do my marketing. Most tax and accounting professionals, we don't even understand what exactly is marketing. Some days we're talking about, I need a new website. Some days we're talking about, I need SEO. Some days we're talking about, I need to post more on social media. Some days I'm talking about, I need to do YouTube videos. I need to do blogs. What is marketing? A lot of us sit down and we talk about, well, I just got to do marketing. Well, I heard this guy talk about SEO. Well, I heard this guy talk about if I just do social media posts, I got to post more on Instagram. I'm doing my marketing. No. I want you guys to think about one thing when it comes to marketing. And I want this to stick in your mind when you think about marketing forever. And this is going to be another paradigm shift. And I want us all to write this down. And I'm going to ask you guys to put a 1 in the chat box after this is done. If I don't see all these 1s in the chat box, we're not going to move forward. Marketing in our space is education. Marketing equals education. You need to be creating assets that educate your customer on how they can save money on taxes. Because you remember in the previous slides, I told you where are we currently at. 95% of the marketplace does not understand that they can save money on taxes. I need 1s going, guys. I need all these 1s, or we're not moving forward. Marketing equals education. So when somebody talks about, I need to do marketing, I want you to think in your head now, oh, I gotta educate. I gotta educate. I gotta educate. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna train you throughout this webinar. How exactly do you educate? What does that even look like? Because it's such a broad word, right? Marketing is education. That is marketing. So no longer will you get confused about, oh, well, I got to do SEO, or, I got to get a website because that's my marketing, or I got to go to a trade. No. Marketing equals education. We have solidified that point on this call today. If you walk away with just this, I'm 95% sure you're going to be in a great place. Kenneth Edmonds, I like your name, Ken. Ken said, wow, slap me and call me stupid. That is a great different perspective on marketing. It's a massive perspective. What I want you guys to do is I want you guys to have a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift is when you start to change the way you think about something, and those lead to the biggest levels in growth. And I'm gonna kind of break down where everything started to make sense for us in our firm when I knew education was the key to unlocking endless tax planning leads. Okay, so next slide. All right, so what will this do for you, right? They will have it, so when you're educating your clients, okay, they will have an epiphany that it's possible to save money on taxes. Remember what I said at the beginning of this training, 95% of Americans do not understand that tax planning exists. They only think it's for the top 1%. They think it's illegal. They think that they cannot do this. That's why you're in such a golden position right now, because you can be that educator in your community. They will understand the difference between a tax professional, a person who does tax preparation, bookkeeping, IRS audit representation, and a tax strategist. We are all now tax strategists on this call. Type in tax strategist in the chat box if now you're starting to think like a tax strategist. Put tax strategist in the chat box. That is where we are now. We're tax strategists. We're no longer calling ourselves tax preparers, or I'm a tax person, or I'm a CPA, or I'm an enrolled agent. That's great. That's dandy. I love that we all have those licenses. We have our licenses as well. But I'm going to tell you one thing and one thing only. When I go to a doctor's office, I don't care if you got a doctor's degree, a CPA degree, or whatever degree. I just want to make sure you make my headache go away. That's what I care about. And that's what a tax strategist does. He's going to make that tax bill go away. Okay? The third thing, they will understand the tax code just isn't for the top percent when you're educating them now. They're going to believe that Justin, who owns a small chiropractor business that's doing around $120,000 a year, can leverage the same tax codes that Robert Kiyosaki is utilizing for his billion-dollar real estate empire. They will look at you as the expert to help them achieve that now. Now that you educated the client, who are they going to look at to solve that problem? They're going to look squarely in your face, and you're going to be the person that serves them. And they're going to write a nice check for $7,500 payable to Barry, payable to Christina, payable to all these people, payable to Lewis. That's what they're going to do. Okay? And the beautiful thing about this is 95% of tax professionals just aren't creating educational content because they don't understand what marketing is in its simplest form. And that's what I really wanted to break down for you guys before we even get to the strategies. We got to have a paradigm shift. We have to rewire the way we think about this. Then we'll get to the tactical type of stuff. Okay? 95, and that puts you guys are the 5%, the 78 people that are on this call today. You guys are literally the 5% of people that are spending the time learning, educating yourself, And guess what? You're going to get the 90% of clients that most of these other tax professionals won't get because they don't spend time on this. They're happy with just getting their referrals. They're happy with having a business that just runs from January to April than trying to muster things together during the other months. This business is a year-round business. We do our biggest numbers during our summer all the way till the end of the year. That's when our largest months happen. It's not during January through April. This is a year-round business. Who wants a year-round business? Put a 2 in the chat box if you guys want a year-round business that's constantly turning dollars. Give me a 2 in the chat box if you want a year-round business that's constantly churning out business for your guys' selves. I'm gonna take a little drink of water. Let me see some 2s. Okay. Beautiful, Carol. Yep. Exactly. Yes, but I'm not working the whole time. Yep. Alan, my big guy, Alan's here. Moises, what up, Moises? Perfect, guys. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So now I'm gonna get into more tactical stuff now. Okay. So I'm pretty sure we got a good understanding of marketing equals education. You're in the education business. That is the paradigm shift that I want you guys to have on this call. Right? Put education in the chat box. I need to see everybody put education or I'm not moving on. This is what I wanted you guys to understand first. You are in the education business. When you think about marketing for your firm, you're going to think about one thing and one thing only. Shit, how can I educate these customers? How can I educate the 95% of people that don't think that they can save on taxes? All right. Okay, cool. Andrew, education. All right. Desmond, Prince, education. Moises, education. Michael, I'm an educator. Michael's already taken on the moniker. He says, I am an educator. He's already had that paradigm shift. Okay. So that's what we have to do is now we're in the education business. Now let's get to some really, really cool tactical stuff that I want to show you guys. This is where it gets fun. All right, so let's roll. So education, what does that mean now? Education, now that we know marketing equals education, how do we produce education that leads to us getting leads, right? How do we do that now? We do that in the form of content. And I'm gonna break down what content is, but this is when we had the paradigm shift, when I knew that tax planning was an education business and it was no longer just, oh, I got to do SEO or do this or do that or all that type of stuff. We hope roll to the next slide, John. So who knows who this guy is? Do you guys know who this guy is right here? Put a 1 in the chat box if you guys know who this guy is. Give me a 1 in the chat box if anybody knows who this is. Who knows who this guy is? You guys know who this guy is? Really? Wow, I didn't know. Gee, there's a lot of people who know who this guy is. Wow. So guys, so this is my brother, Carlton. So Carlton runs a YouTube channel. He has over 579,000 subscribers. He's had over 24 million views on his videos. His top videos, you can see right here to the right, why you should not form an LLC has 1.6 million views. He has how to pay yourself as an LLC, 4.2 million views. Okay, this is my brother. So there was a time and we started this channel in 2017 and we had this theory. We went to a lot of different trade shows and we educated people and we talked to people, we did this, we did that. And we had this theory, we kept telling ourselves, I said, man, if we really double down on educating people, because people have so many questions about taxes or LLCs or S Corps or this or that. If we educate people, I bet you we could start really building this business and build it to a sizable level. And what we did was Carl set up a camera. You can go and watch his first video. He just popped his video up and started creating videos. And we started seeing a little momentum, a little bit more momentum, a little bit more momentum, and the channel hit. And now we're one of the, if not, I think we're the #1 largest YouTube channel on YouTube around taxes. And if you go to the next slide, if you type in, you guys can do this stuff, or go back one slide, John. Go forward. Right, stay right here, stay right here, yep. So if you guys go to YouTube, go back real quick. Sorry, guys, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. It's okay. Right here. If you guys go to YouTube and type in how to save on taxes, we're the #1 person that comes up on YouTube. If you guys go to YouTube and you just type in literally taxes, we're the #1 channel on YouTube. Why do I tell you guys this? The reason I tell you guys this is for the simple fact that people are dying and salivating to be educated on taxes. And this is where the epiphany happened for us, is that if you educate the clients on how to save money on taxes, you will forever be their confidant and they will trust you. And you want to talk about having 100,000, 200,000, or how we close over $1.2 million in 5 days? It was because we become one of the biggest educators on taxes. And that's how you get tax planning leads. Most of our leads that come in aren't looking for preparation. They're looking for planning because we educated them prior. And that's the key. And that's the paradigm shift that we had when we realized this was the ultimate key to sell tax planning at scale. Okay? So now with the next slide, and this gets pretty good. So next slide. Okay, go back, John, go back. There's one more slide prior to that.
I'm having a delay when I click the slides.
Yeah, I think you're having a little bit of a delay.
Right now, this is on how to educate your market to generate tax planning.
Yeah, so let's just stay right here. That's fine. That's all good. No worries. So guys, so obviously we're not all going to sit here and create videos on YouTube and do different things like that, right? We're not, some of us aren't camera people. Some of us just don't want to sit on YouTube, do that all day long. We run businesses, different things like that, right? So how can we create ourselves the same type of effect where people look to us as the educators and we're able to sell them and educate first, then sell them on tax planning without having to hop on YouTube, do social media posts every single day, do this, do that, all the stuff they talk about, marketing. How can you have the same effect for your clients and educate them, but create one asset or two assets and let that asset run every single day, and it helps you generate tax planning leads? Okay, next slide. The way that we do that, Christina, you're getting close, Christina, smart girl, you're getting close. Email's a part of it. What you must do is, I need everybody to write this down. I need a 1 in the chat box once you guys have written this down. This is another paradigm shift. You must develop a lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? Everybody write this down, please. This is massive. A lead magnet is an irresistible bribe offering a specific, that's why I told you guys we need a niche, a specific chunk of value to a prospect, the 95% of taxpayers, to a prospect in exchange for their contact information, name, phone number, email. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you guys wrote this down. This is the next paradigm shift. Thank you, John, for putting that in the chat box. Okay? This is massive. Massive. You don't have to have a large YouTube channel. You don't have to be on video. If you're a person that doesn't want to show your face, you don't have to do any of that and still have the same effect of generating tax planning leads. This right here is true marketing. A lead magnet is an irresistible bribe offering a specific chunk of value to a prospect in exchange for their contact information. Massive, okay? Massive, massive, massive. All right, now let's head to the next slide. Seems like everybody got that down. Cool. All right, so for an example, you guys have all been on different websites, right? Some of us like to do online shopping. I like to do online shopping. My mom likes to do online shopping, right? If you've ever seen a pop-up come up on a website and it says, hey, we'll give you guys 15% off plus free shipping. That's a lead magnet. They're doing that because they want your email and phone number so they can email you, like Christine was talking about, so they can email you in the future to get you to buy things. The next one over here. Have you guys ever seen the commercial where they talk about get your free mesothelioma book today? Have you guys ever seen those commercials on TV? Put a 1 in the chat box if you've ever seen those commercials on TV. Give me a 1 in the chat. Christina said yes. Have you guys ever seen those commercials on TV? Buy today and get your free mesothelioma book today, blah, 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 blah. Or if you guys have ever seen TV ads are like, hey, call today and we'll give you a free something. That's a lead magnet, guys. The reason they're doing that is because they want you to call in. They're going to give you something for free. Then they're going to get your information and book you a call, then close you. The next one, if you guys have gone to plenty of websites, you guys have probably seen pop-ups or different things like that, where this one says, grow enough food to feed a family of 4 in just 4 square feet of space, even if you don't have a yard. Put your email in here. They're generating a lead and they're giving you something of value, right? These are lead magnets. This is how you generate leads at scale. Now, this concept has been around for ages, but we took this concept and we put jet fuel behind it and we utilized it for tax planning, okay? So now we're going to dig into tax planning, but before we go there, put it 2 in the chat box if you guys understand the concept of a lead magnet, because I don't want to go forward unless you guys understand that concept first, because that's like a big paradigm shift that you guys have got to know before we even get to these next parts. Okay, cool. Moises gets it. Myra. Cool. All right, sweet. Andrew, got it. Christina. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is what a lead magnet is. I hope you guys understand that now. So does this stuff work, right? So over the last 90 days, this is our internal database. This is just one of our databases that we have, but I wanted to kind of show you guys. We've generated over 99,640 leads over the last 3 months of people who are interested in tax planning. You can only imagine the amount of revenue we've generated just off of that. And our base cost for a tax plan is $10,000. So you can imagine if you can set up a system like this for yourself, how much money could you generate? Just closing 2 to 3 tax plans a month at $10,000 would be huge for anybody on this call. Damn, closing 2 would be huge at 10K. But once you get a system set up like this, your lead generation, this is how you start to build predictable revenue, where now you're not dependent on referrals or this or that. You have a system that is educating people, the 95% that don't understand what tax planning is. They look at you as the expert, and now they're going to want to work with you because, wow, I could save X amount of dollars on taxes. Well, hell, sign me up. They thought that their tax liability was their tax liability. There was no way to fix it. They're going to look at you as the expert. That's when it comes back down to what is marketing, education. And this is the result of it. I could give a person without a pulse 9,640 leads, and they could be dog crap at closing deals. Dog crap. And you could pull 10 deals out of that for 10,000. That's the power of this. Okay? All right, let's roll, John. So now what are tax planning lead magnets? Now we're going to dig into more tactical stuff, which is one of my favorite topics now, right? Now we understand, just kind of going back now, marketing is education. We understand that 95% of the market doesn't believe that they can save money on taxes, right? Now we understand that we have to create a lead magnet, which is an irresistible offer to get somebody to download something so we can get their information. Now, how do we create a tax planning lead magnet that will generate leads day in and day out for us without having to be on YouTube, do Instagram videos, do this, do that, that will bring us qualified leads day in and day out for our business? What does that look like? And I'm gonna give you guys 3 examples of them right now, okay? All right. Apostle said, do I have a Vino for this? A Vino? I'm not sure what that is, Apostle, Dr. Jerry. All right, so the first one we're going to look at is we're going to look at ebooks, which is one of my favorite types of lead magnets. So what is an ebook? An ebook is basically where you create a book that might be 5 to 6 pages long. You create it, you can write it, or you could have somebody else write an ebook. And the main thing it does is it educates your market on how to save money on taxes. And that's why it's important to have a niche. So for example, this is from one of our clients, Mia. And her ebook is, here is one method that is helping home healthcare agency owners save more than $100,000 in taxes. Then below that, she describes what the book is about, then boom. So now imagine this, if you're a healthcare company, you're seeing an ad, or if this is being put in front of you, right? And you happen to own a healthcare company and you've been overpaying on taxes, do you think you're going to download something like this for free? Is this an irresistible bribe to get my information? You're damn right it is, right? So ebooks are a very simple way and one of my favorite ways to generate leads, because you're able to put in very good detailed information within the ebook. You're able to educate your clients. They end up trusting you. And in that ebook, you can put a link to book a call on your calendar, and you'll end up getting a whole bunch of people that book calls on your calendar by just download this ebook. So now you've killed 2 birds with 1 stone. You've educated the 95% of Americans who don't know that they can save on taxes. You've given them an asset that now puts you in a place where you're an authority and you know what you're talking about. And now you've given them a way where they can book a call on your calendar and speak to you about how they can actually implement this. Okay? So give me a 1 in the chat box if that ebook concept makes sense for you guys. Okay? Okay, cool. So for instance, right? So if your market is real estate investors, I would create an ebook around 5 real estate strategies every real estate investor can use to save over $100,000 in taxes. And what would I put in that real estate book? I will put 5 key points in there. I'm talking about the 1031 exchange. I'm talking about a management company. I'm talking about cost segregation, a few other strategies, right? Just 5 strategies you can put in that book. Then at the end of that book, I'm telling them, hey, if you want to actually implement this or have a free tax analysis, book a call with me today, and I'll speak to you about how you can save money on taxes. And you just literally created yourself an asset that will last the next 5 years, that will generate you high quality leads to help you start closing deals. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to the next one. All right. So the next one is going to be webinars. So this is literally like a webinar that we just ran. Maybe some of you guys were on it or weren't on it, but the top 5 overlooked tax write-offs for 2023. So we run webinars all the time. For us, we're really good communicators. So we tend to like running webinars and just speaking to people and giving people education, right? When you guys signed up for this webinar, there was no cost to it. It was free, right? So and you're getting value. It's the same thing for your audience. You can create a webinar that literally covers, you know, helping people save money on taxes and educating your market about saving on taxes. That is marketing, right? That's a massive opportunity for yourself. So when you're thinking about marketing, I go back to this concept all the time, is because I've worked with so many different tax professionals, is people think marketing is, oh, SEO, I got to do a website, this, da, 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 da. Marketing equals education. When you're thinking about marketing, you need to be thinking to yourself, how can I educate my clients? Or how can I educate prospects? Even if you're going out and you have the opportunity to speak at a event or speak at a, you know, a lead event or whatever the case may be, speaking to clients is education. That's how you generate leads. We did that for the first 5 years of our business. We would just go out to events and just educate people and would drum up, you know, hundreds of leads just like that. So webinars is a great way for you to basically generate leads. Okay. And this is just like an example of a webinar that we ran literally just the other day that you guys can run. So you want to make sure that you guys are creating webinars that are specific to your niche. So if your niche is real estate, again, for real estate investors, right? So the number one strategy that is helping real estate investors cut their tax bill in half. That's a webinar title right there. And that will get people to sign up, you educate them. And at the end of that webinar, you ask them to book a consultation. You'll get 5 to 10 people, probably close 2 of them at 10 grand a pop. Okay. Very important. All right. So give me a 2 in the chat box if that part makes sense. Give me a 2 in the chat box. Just want to make sure I'm not going too fast for everybody. All right, sweet. Okay, cool. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is white papers. So white papers and case studies. These are pretty good if you've worked with clients in the past. So let's say you've kind of done, so there's a few people on this call who are doing tax planning or have kind of done it a little bit, but they're trying to figure out how to scale it or this or that, or they don't really have like the tools to really build it profitably. This is more for you. What you can do is you can create a case study where you literally break down how you saved your client maybe 40,000 in taxes or maybe 100,000 in taxes, right? So how I saved a chiropractor over $80,000 in taxes. And you can literally have a white paper where you break down the exact strategies and how you did it, and people will download that. And we do that all the time. And it's an easy and simple way. It shows proof that you know what you're doing. People will put in their information because they're curious about, if they're a chiropractor, how they can save money on taxes because they're tired of paying taxes. You're going to get their information and you're going to be able to book a call with them, have a consultation, and close them up. Okay. So white papers are good when you guys get to a point where you've started to do this for clients, you've actually saved them on taxes. Case studies become very powerful. We have a lot of case studies that we utilize for our business to generate leads, and we generate these type of leads all day. I mean, John, you're on the call. How many leads do we generate just from this case study on our website? Would you say monthly? Just organic?
We're probably around like 120, 130, just organic.
100. Yeah, just people going to your website. It's something that you could just simply put on your website, just put a pop-up on it, right? Similar to like Kate Spade, right? Where they have a pop-up, get 15% off. People will just naturally download it. And that's 115 people. We close 5% of those people at $5,000 to $10,000. That's a massive drop in cash flow, right? Just by simply the number one thing I've preached and I've talked about, which is basically education. All right. All right. So give me a 1 in the chat box. I just want to make sure that makes sense. I got a question. I'm going to get to the questions at the end, Carol. I'm going to go through all those questions. You save your guys' questions, guys. I'm going to literally stop and do like an FAQ. Then I'm going to go through all the questions. Okay, cool. Moises, you got it. Moises is on it. Desmond's been on it too. Okay, so sounds like everybody got that. Okay, cool. So now this is the second part of it. So again, I like to go back and show us how far we've come, right? We understand where the market is, that they're uneducated about taxes. We know that marketing equals education. We must educate our clients. The way that we do that is through creating a lead magnet. We learned about what type of lead magnets that we could create to consistently generate leads and appointments now. Now, the fifth part, which is the most important part about a lead magnet. And this is critical. Because if you're going to follow my exact direction, then you're going to come back and say, well, it didn't work. If you do not get this part right, it will not work. The most important thing about a lead magnet, and I want everybody to write this down, put one in the chat box. This is one of those things again. So I don't want you guys leaving here and trying this and telling me, well, it didn't work. The most important thing about a lead magnet is the title of the lead magnet. This is the hook that will get people interested in your lead magnet. This is the most important part. It's more important than even the free book you're giving them. We are in a day and age online where people are so inundated with information that if you do not capture their attention with a good enough hook, which is a title, they will not feel interested to download it, right? Remember what one of the key terms was? A lead magnet is a __, a irresistible offer. For it to be irresistible, I have to create a title that sounds irresistible. And there's a formula that I'm going to give you guys to create really good titles, because if you do not have this, it will not work. Okay? Because if you create a book that says 5 tax deductions everybody needs, I'm not downloading that. That sounds boring. Like what? I can look that up online. That's how critical this is. Okay? I'm going to go into 2 formulas that you can utilize to create titles. All right? So let's roll. All right, so the first formula is the secret of blank. Everybody write these formulas down. This is very, very critical. The secret of blank. This one is used by writers a lot when they're thinking about how to grab attentions, how to grab their readers' attention, because it just works. It shares insider knowledge and it translates into a benefit for the reader. To create an irresistible offer, there has to be a benefit. The second thing is for people to download something, and you guys are probably like this yourself. You guys probably are very apprehensive to give your email. The reason you don't want to give your email is because you know people are going to start emailing you, right? So for you guys to give your email, that offer for you to put in your email had better be really good, right? It's got to be awesome. So one way to get people to put in their emails is curiosity. If you guys have ever seen movie trailers are very notorious for this. Movie trailers will basically create a small clip of something in 1 minute and leave a cliffhanger. And you're like, damn, I got to see that movie. Like Oppenheimer, what happens, right? Curiosity. Curiosity is the driver of action to get people to want to find out what's going on. If you guys have ever seen TMZ and you look at their titles, it's always about, could you believe that so-and-so did this or they did that, but they won't tell you exactly what it is. Or if you guys have the Apple News app on your phone, you guys will get those Apple News notifications and it'll say that, did you know The Rock did this? But they won't tell you exactly what it is. The reason being is because they want you to click through. That's a time-trusted formula. This is very crucial, okay? So for instance, all right, Curiosity is the key to get people to download stuff because people want to know. That's why people are addicted to reality TV shows and drama. Well, what's going to happen? Well, what's going to this? What's going to that? What is this? That's how we are. That's how we're wired as humans. So, for example, the secrets the IRS doesn't want you to know when it comes to saving on taxes. That instantly sparks curiosity for an ebook or for a webinar. That's like, man, the secrets. Well, what is the IRS hiding from me? Well, I don't really want to give maybe I'll just give them my email and my phone number and my name. I got to figure out what it is, right? The secrets of protecting your assets in litigation. The secrets of cutting your tax bill in half as a real estate investor. The secrets of the top 1% when it comes to saving on taxes. All of these things spark curiosity where you're going to be willing to put in your information to find out what does the 1% of Americans know that I don't know, right? Very, very important. It's one thing to create a lead magnet. It's another thing to get somebody to download it, right? And that comes down to your title. Your title is more important than your asset that you're going to give people. I know that sounds contrary to everything that I'm talking about, but believe me when I tell you this, your title is more important. Spend time on that, okay? All right, so this is the secret. I would take a screenshot of this because this is literally a proven way to get people to show up to webinars, to show up to a whole bunch of different things. All right, the next one we'll roll to is the little known ways to blank. This is the next formula. And I have a whole book of these formulas, guys, right? I have a whole book on them. It's a more intriguing and less common way of accomplishing the same thing as the secret of headline. Again, it sparks curiosity, right? 6 little known ways to save on taxes as a healthcare professional, right? Little known ways to optimize your Gmail. Little known ways to lose weight quickly and safely. 5 little known ways to save money on taxes. Little known makes you think as if like, okay, this is something that I haven't heard about. It's not really known. It must be a secret. I don't really want to give my, okay, I'll put my email in. Put a 1 in the chat box if that formula makes sense to you guys. Okay. So these are proven formulas that you guys can utilize to create your lead magnets, okay? These formulas right here, all right? And these are the things that are going to allow you to start generating tax planning leads like nobody's business, okay? Very, very crucial. All right, John. Okay. Now, how do you get people into this funnel? How do you get people into this lead magnet daily now, right? We know the market is not educated. We know that marketing equals education. We know that for us to educate the market, we have to create a lead magnet, which is an irresistible offer. We have the choice of creating a webinar or an ebook. Now, how do I get people into this every single day? And one of the questions you might be asking yourself, right? How do you create an ebook in less than 24 hours? Because there's a process to do that where you could create an ebook literally in less than 24 hours. Who wants to know about how you can create an ebook in less than 24 hours? Put a 2 in the chat box if you guys want to know about that. Give me a 2 in the chat box if you want to know how to create ebook in less than 24 hours. I don't like spending a lot of time on things, guys. I want stuff quick, easy, fast, stuff like that. Who wants to learn about how you can get an endless supply of leads wanting to download your free book and do it profitably? Put another 2 in the chat box if you guys would want to know that. Give me another 2. Give me another 3 if you want to know how you can get them to book on the calendar. We got them to download the ebook now. Now, how do we get them to book on the calendar? Give me a 3 in the chat box if you want to know that. Now, give me a 4 in the chat box is how can we, if I can show you how you can automate this system where it runs 24/7, 365 and generates you leads that are interested in deals that are anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 for an engagement. Give me a 4 in the chat box, guys. Light it up. If you guys want this, light it up. Right? Because this is now the possibility of